welcome back to Grace's Room. So I feel like every single week on TikTok there always seems to be some new makeup product that's trending. First it was the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter, then it was the Rare Beauty Blush, now it's like the Drunk Elephant Drops. I could go on. And I feel like it's pretty safe to say that it's nearly impossible to try and keep up with all of these trends because, as we all know, makeup can be very expensive, especially like those Charlotte Tilbury products. Anyway, so I recently came across this brand by the name of MCoBeauty. It's an Australian brand that I think is pretty popular worldwide now, and they specialize in making makeup dupes for some of your favorite products. Like, where's the difference? You can't even see it. So I thought it would be really fun to try and do a full face of makeup today, with one side being high-end products and the other side being their makeup dupes, to see whether the final result ends up looking pretty similar and whether you could actually be saving a lot of money on these makeup products. So let's get started. For primer, I'm going to be using, on the high-end side, the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer, which I've been using for a little while. It's like a very sticky primer, so your makeup stays in place. And I'm going to be comparing it to the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I've seen this online a lot. It was very hard to find in stores. And apparently it's a very similar dupe to the Milk one, and some people say even better. So let's see. Okay, just applied the primer. Not too much to say about it because I know I already like this one. It kind of gets stickier as it dries down, but I'm interested to see how it compares to the e.l.f. one now. Ooh, very thick. I think that's all dried down now, and I will say that the e.l.f. side does actually feel a lot stickier compared to the Milk Makeup Primer. So, interesting. Before I go on to foundation, I want to use these Drunk Elephant Glow Drops and compare them to the MCoBeauty Super Glow Golden Drops, because does the packaging not look the exact same? It's so funny. But this will just add like a nice glow underneath my foundation. As we can see, one side of my face is definitely a lot shinier. Let's see how these ones are. I mean, the color looks the same. Looks like I put liquid highlighter on my face. Why does it look so glowy on this side? I feel like the Drunk Elephant one's a little bit more subtle, a bit more natural. This one just looks very very glowy. So that's all blended in now, and I'm not sure if you can tell on camera, but there's definitely a huge difference in the amount of glow on both sides. Like, this just looks a lot more pigmented, the MCoBeauty one. So I probably do like the Drunk Elephant ones a little bit more, just because it's a bit more of a natural glow, whereas this is quite intense. But if you like that kind of look, then I suppose this might be better. I'm definitely the most excited for this step. I'm going to be comparing the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter Foundation to the MCoBeauty Flawless Glow Foundation. I mean, they're not even trying to hide it. Like, the packaging looks the exact same. Are you kidding me? But yeah, I don't really use the Flawless Filter too much, but this might actually be a little bit too dark for me, this shade. Let's see. Oh, it looks a little bit orangey, but anyway. But it does have like a really nice formula. Like, it looks really good under foundation, but I think I'm just gonna use this by itself today. So, I'm going to be using the MCoBeauty now on the other side. Let's see how the shade match goes, because this is also in shade 3, which is what my Charlotte Tilbury one is in. Looks very similar. My makeup is going to be very glowy today. We're definitely going to need a little bit of powder to cover up some of that shine. I mean, it looks pretty similar, like the color and everything. It's probably a tiny bit hard to tell because I've got those very, very glowy drops underneath. But in terms of like color match and everything, I'm very happy with it. I feel like it looks very similar on both sides. Obviously this side probably looks a tiny bit glowier because of the glow drops, but I mean, like, the formula was quite nice. I didn't really notice much of a difference, if I'm being totally honest. Let's hope we can control some of this shine with the other products. Now for concealer, I'm gonna be comparing the Tarte Shape Tape to the MCoBeauty Instant Concealer Camouflage and Contour. I've been using the Tarte Shape Tape for years now. It's one of my favorite concealers, and I thought this MCoBeauty one looked very similar in packaging. So let's see if the formula is pretty similar. I do have to mix 2 shades for the Shape Tape because I did buy one that was a little bit too light for me, so bear with me. Cute. Let's go in with the MCoBeauty concealer now. Hopefully this shade match is good. Ooh. Oh, maybe it looks a little bit dark. I don't know. Might be alright when we blend it out. The coverage seems pretty good actually, and the shade match is pretty good too, I would say. Okay, nice. I'm pretty happy with how that concealer turned out. I think both sides of my face look pretty similar. Probably a little bit hard to tell because my Tarte Shape Tape shade was a little bit lighter than this side, but anyway, let's move on. So now we're gonna be doing cream contour. I'm gonna be comparing the Rare Beauty bronzer stick to the Mecca Max Off-Duty contour stick. This Mecca Max one does look quite dark, but when I swatched it in the store, it did seem to blend out quite nicely, so hopefully it doesn't look too harsh. A nice subtle bronze. Now we're going to be trying the Mecca Max contour stick, and hopefully this blends out nicely and doesn't wipe off all my concealer as well. It's quite nice actually. It doesn't, yeah, it's not too harsh at all. Ooh, okay. All done with the bronzer. I just went pretty subtle with it because I like to add more powder bronzer later on, but I think this was a pretty good dupe for the Rare Beauty one because I feel like it blended out really nicely. The color was very pretty, and yeah, it doesn't look too harsh or anything, and it looks really nice, so I'm happy with it. Was definitely looking forward to trying this one as well. I'm going to be comparing the very popular Rare Beauty blush, this is in the shade Happy, to the NYX Sweet Cheeks Soft Cheek Tint Blush Mousse. This is in the shade Baby Doll, and this one also has like a little brush applicator as well, like the Rare Beauty one, and I feel like the color looks quite similar, so let's see how it turns out. This has so much pigment in it, like just one little drop goes a very long way, so I'm not going to do too much. All done. Let's try the NYX blush and see how it compares. Hopefully there's a good shade match. Ooh, looks maybe a little bit dark. Let's see how it blends out. That blended out beautifully. I'm really happy with how this looks. Ooh, this is really nice. I like the color of it too. Like, I feel like it's quite similar to the Rare Beauty one, and like I said, it blended out really smoothly. Okay. All right, let's set this makeup before it slides off my face. I'm gonna be comparing the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, a staple in the makeup community, to the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, which is very popular. A lot of people say this is a very good powder, and I've never tried it before, so let's see how it works. Oh, thank goodness we controlled some of that shine. I was afraid I was gonna be looking very shiny by the end of this, but we definitely needed some powder. Okay, now it's time to try the Fit Me powder. Ooh, I like this. I mean, like, look at my under eye. I feel like it looks very blurred, like not a lot of texture. I feel like maybe the concealer came off my cheek a little bit here. I don't know if you can see that as well, but I don't know if that's my fault or it happened when I was applying the contour. Anyway, so the powder was very nice. I feel like it looks the exact same on both sides. It has like a very similar blurring effect. Yeah, I think it looks really smooth. Okay, so now it's time for some bronzer. So I've actually been using the Maybelline City bronzer for a very long time. You can probably tell from the packaging. I've had to like tape it together because it's so old, and it's one of my favorites. But I read that apparently the high-end like dupe for it is the Fenty Beauty Instant Warmth Bronzer. I haven't really used this one too much, but I'm interested to see whether it actually has a similar look to the City bronzer one. I really like this bronzer. It blends out really smoothly, and I feel like it just adds a really nice like subtle bronze to the face without being too harsh, so I'm a fan of that. In terms of color, I will say that it's very similar. Maybe the Fenty one has a bit more of a warmer tone to it, but I mean, they both blend out quite nicely. It's a bit hard to choose a favorite because I feel like they were both fine, honestly. Maybe, like I said, maybe the Fenty one did go on a little bit smoother, but it's honestly not a huge difference. Time for some blush because you can never have enough blush. I'm going to be comparing the NARS blush here in the very popular shade Organism to the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Berry Amour. I feel like the color looked very similar, and I was reading that this is a very good dupe for the NARS one, so let's see how the color compares. Yeah, I love this blush. I think it's so cute. Well, both of those blushes went on pretty smoothly, like I couldn't really tell much of a difference. And in terms of the color, maybe this Milani one's a little bit more red tinted, but honestly, I can't really tell a difference. I think they look pretty similar, and I'm very happy with how this one turned out. Not that I need any more shine on my face, but we're gonna be doing highlighter now. So I'm gonna be comparing the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Beauty Light Wand to the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand in the shade Champagne. Just gonna blend that out with my finger, but yeah, I really like this highlighter. I feel like it's just really nice and subtle, and because it's like a liquid, it kind of looks more natural on your skin, just like a very natural glow. I will say, I kind of feel like the Charlotte Tilbury one did blend out a lot more like smoothly, like it kind of just like diffused into the skin, whereas this one's kind of left a bit of like a glowy line here. I sort of maybe prefer the Charlotte Tilbury one, but this probably still gets the job done, honestly. Let's finally move on to the eyes. We're going to be comparing some tubing mascaras, very popular at the moment. I didn't realize how good they could be. I'm going to be comparing the Tartelette tubing mascara to this one from MCoBeauty, the Extend Lash one, which I've actually been using this for a little while, the MCoBeauty one, and I really like how it looks on my eyes. I actually haven't tried this one from Tarte before, but supposedly it's one of the better high-end tubing mascaras, so let's see. I've just let that first coat of mascara dry down a little bit, but I will say the first thing I noticed as soon as I applied it was that it like clumped my lashes together like a lot, which I suppose is good, you know, when you want volume, but I kind of like how with the MCo one, it sort of like separates them a little bit more. Okay, well, they definitely made my lashes look a lot longer than what they normally are. All right, let's go in with some MCoBeauty. Yeah, this one is definitely like less thick. Maybe I do like the Tarte one a little bit more. I feel like it kind of gave my lashes a bit more of a lift, whereas these ones don't really look like they're as lifted. I was just about to get started on my lips, and I just realized that like half of my foundation has like come off on the high end side of my face. It's like not on my nose and on my chin as well. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it looks like very splotchy, whereas this side looks very smooth. Maybe it was the primer, like maybe the e.l.f. one had a bit more grip or something to it, because I'm not sure why that's happening. Nearly done. I'm going to do some lip liner now. I'm going to be comparing the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner, very iconic, to the MCoBeauty Perfect Pout lip liner in the shade Cheeky Chat. Pillow Talk, Cheeky Chat, very similar. But yeah, this Charlotte Tilbury one is like one of my favorite lip liners in my whole collection. So I'm interested to see whether the shade ends up coming out very similar. I just love how natural the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner looks like. It doesn't even really look like you're wearing anything too intense, just so good for every day. But now let's try the MCoBeauty lip liner and see how it compares. It goes on very smooth though, like it's a pretty like good formula. I'm not really seeing much of a difference in the color actually, now that I look at it. I would 100% use this MCoBeauty lip liner again. I don't really feel like there's honestly a huge difference. Final step, I'm going to be comparing the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Plump in the shade Primrose to the NYX Fat Oil Slick Click Lip Balm in the shade No Filter Needed. This one from Tarte here I've been using for a little while. I really like it because it's like one of the plumping lip glosses, so it kind of like tingles a little bit, but it looks really pretty on. I love this shade, and the most similar shade I could find was this one here from NYX. All right, let's see how this NYX one compares. Ooh, why does that look very similar? I was worried the color match might not be the best, but can you guys tell the difference? I can't. In terms of texture, it's not like a lip plumper, so it's not tingling like the Tarte one is, but in terms of like the shade and everything, it's very similar. I like this. Ooh. So I don't have a setting spray to compare today, so I just use my normal one, but this is the completed makeup look, and I've got to say, I think both sides look very similar. There are obviously positives and negatives for both sides of the face. Like for example, on the high-end side, definitely prefer the mascara and the highlighter, but on the dupe side, definitely prefer the foundation and concealer. But there are also some things that just look the exact same to me, like the blush and the lips, couldn't really tell you the difference. Final thoughts, you can definitely save some money buying some of these makeup dupes. Some of my favorite ones were definitely the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, if that's the reason why this foundation is sticking so well. Oh, and definitely this NYX blush as well. I feel like it blended really nicely. It definitely compared really well with the Rare Beauty blush. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Hopefully maybe it was useful to you guys if you're looking to save a bit of money buying some makeup. Don't forget to check out my Instagram at GraceWorldOfficial and my TikTok at grace.mulgrew, and I'll see you guys next time on Grace's Room. Bye for now.